Welcome back to the episode called Fine Wine.
It is. It's called Fine Wine. And we're looking for a man.
Welcome back. We've made our rookies. So the mission. So Commander, what are our primary and secondary missions?
Primary mission is the mission Fine Wine.
Mm-hmm.
And the secondary mission is Crocodile Tears.
Crocodile's Tears. Cool. And Marshall, who is going on this mission?
The primary mission is going. Oh, it wasn't. Well, the primary mission is going to be the Star Vipers are going to be on the primary mission, and then I think we're gonna probably send out. I turned Canadian almost. Send out the Ember Wolves with the secondary mission, and they're gonna go with our scout and our heavy, or not our scout, our medic and our heavy. And then our scout and our officer are gonna be on the primary mission with the Star Vipers.
Don't you know?
Yeah.
Great, perfect.
Yeah. Start.
Where's my fucking thing? Okay, cool. So new mission generation, go to mission phase. Cool. So those are selected. If we'll do the engagement rolls for them. So let me pull that up. Woo. So everyone, if you have load marked, specifically our specialists, this is the time to pick your new load.
So they get re-upped on
Yes.
stuff. So like, I should erase all of my old
Yes.
stuff for medic.
Yes, yeah. Whoops, this is Blades in the Dark. Coming soon.
To a table near you.
That's good.
That makes me freak out a little bit. Which one?
Which plane?
Which table?
Which table? We should be prepared.
A table near me. That one?
Listen.
So many tables. Have you ever thought about how many tables are around you in a given day?
I have.
I've never thought
Think about it now.
You ever think about how many
Not
farts
very
you walk
disturbed.
through in a restaurant?
How many what?
How many farts you walk through in a restaurant? You know who's farting when. That's recorded.
Probably like 10.
Good.
At any given time in any restaurant.
Alright.
If it's like a restaurant where there's like beans and stuff, well, let's up that, But like,
So let's get our dice ready.
Yeah, we got it.
So we answer a set of questions to determine the size of your dice pool, and then
Okay.
you'll make a roll to determine where your starting foot is in the mission. So, first question: Legion loyalty. Are all on the mission oath sworn to the Legion?
yeah.
Cool. You'll add a die to the pool. And you start with one for sheer luck. Is that correct?
Sheer luck.
I hope it goes well. I hope.
Yes.
Well,
Are we rolling for fine wine or are we rolling for...
You're rolling for fine wine. You won't roll
Just
for
see where you
secondary after fine wine is over.
Until we
Intel.
get back and find out how it went.
Yeah. Did the commander spend one intel to give you advanced information?
No.
No.
So no additional die.
We had no intel.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier?
No.
Cool, no additional die. Leadership. Does any legionnaire distrust or not respect the leadership enough to obey orders on the battlefield?
Well, we just made these Star Vipers. Do we have any,
Do you want
big personalities among the Star Vipers?
I mean, the
Do
Star
we have
Vipers,
any-
it said they have an eclectic group of people,
Yeah.
Not enough to
We got any
disobey
Harper
orders
graduates?
at this time.
Heard. So no minus
Do
die.
we have any
Duke is gonna be a
Monsters,
problem.
best people?
Do we have any people with some Karen haircuts?
Are all required specialists or equipment on the mission?
What?
So you have the required specialists necessary for a recon? Should be an officer. It should be on your
Yeah,
sheet.
we have an officer.
Stop eating nutrition.
I'm sorry. Don't talk to me. It should say. I think it should say on your sheets.
It doesn't say on mine.
No.
Okay.
I was gonna
Show
make
me
that
mission
one, but
type.
We'll just stop halfway through.
Okay.
Do you want to hole punch that?
Oh, my new one?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Who's that?
Commander.
So going back to the whole while he's looking in the book, going back to the
Thank
whole
you.
farts debacle. Like I said, I
Alright,
think
we're on
if
to-
it's
Yeah.
I think if it's, you know, like a place where there's more beans or I feel like coffee shops probably have more farts in them than say
Do coffee shops have a lot of beans in them traditionally?
yeah, coffee beans.
Oh.
What were we writing
They're
our
coffee
names?
cherries, actually.
Wait, they're cherries?
That's the beans are
You
the
just call them beans.
seeds. Well, yeah, because you know them as beans, but they're seeds in the coffee cherry. So there are two little seeds covered by mucilage in the coffee cherry.
Can you eat a coffee cherry? Yes. Does it taste like a cherry? Or does it taste like coffee?
No,
It tastes like a bitter cherry.
probably tastes like crap. It's probably like really tart. Really tart, but I don't know that for sure.
Please.
Okay.
But the
Yeah.
beans are where the caffeine comes from. So
Wow.
Ooh.
seeds, not beans.
Not beans.
Yeah.
Seeds, not beans.
I'm assuming an
Where's the
officer.
second half?
It's probably right beneath it.
Nope, that is your character sheet.
Oh, actually,
there it
put
is.
it between. Sorry.
No, you're good. I really thought it said it on here. Oh, it might say it on your sheet, actually.
Oh.
This is the
What should I be
the
looking
needed
for?
specialists.
Yeah. And I'm sure.
Oh, there we go.
officers won't.
So you have to make sure that at least one of these goes on the
Oh.
appropriate.
So a scout is going on the recon and supply
Cool,
missions,
cool,
so we're
cool.
good. And an officer goes on religious missions.
Thank you for bearing with us, folks.
So it's a good thing we did pick this.
Please
guy,
let us
we
know in
needed
the
him.
comments below where you think farts would be.
Thank you for engagement.
This is our interactivity here.
yeah.
I don't think you're visible right now.
Sorry.
No, I don't think I'm visible.
Oh, hang on.
No, you're good.
Everyone's
She'll lean forward.
She'll figure it out.
Alright, so I get a die for that?
Keep us in a good,
Yes.
good hard.
Yes.
Nice skills for your die.
Oh yeah, go for it. How many you need?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We're working on it. I'm going real slow about it. I'm learning.
We're setting up.
We're all
It's a
learning.
setup.
And then this is a recon mission.
Truly.
So, did the quartermaster spend horses to equip during the mission?
We got horses, but we didn't use them, I don't think.
Then you don't get an additional die. Is
Should
any
we use horses? Can we use your horse?
Are we able to do that, or
We only get
that
six.
has
You
to
can
be
if you
decided
want to.
in the campaign phase?
you can decide it retroactively as far as I'm concerned. I don't
So
give a
you're
shit.
saying we can recon before the recon?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we only get 6 uses out of each horse.
Correct. And horses also help reduce pressure if you end up staying somewhere too
Yeah,
long.
we could.
No, horse die.
No horse die. Is any legionnaire starting with a heavy load?
No.
Does that help or not?
Not help.
No, definitely not.
There are no heavy loads across the board?
Can I have my thing
Oh,
back?
yes. Can I help me with this?
Oh.
No,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. So then your dice pool is assembled.
2.
You got this. Well, you got this.
So what do I need to
Yeah.
roll? I need to roll good?
So
Yeah.
on a primary mission outcome, you can roll a critical. You've overcome the first obstacle or in a controlled position. 6, you're in a controlled position. 4 and 5, you're in a risky position. 1 and 3, you're in a desperate position.
Double
Narratively speaking.
6. I'm speaking it into existence.
Double six, double six.
Double 6.
Dub.
Yeah.
In the morning.
Lady's lucky.
A 1 and a 6.
Okay, so you're in a controlled position.
Class should have tried harder.
Okay,
Yeah.
and this is where our story will begin.
Should we introduce our rookies?
Yes, would you please introduce the people that you are playing for this mission, please? If the specialists
Oh,
would like to go first.
I would actually love to read the Star Viper thing.
Okay,
Of this, the motto.
sure.
I think that'd be fun.
Okay.
The Star Vipers are the group, and they've got a fun little motto that I read for you now. The Star Vipers squad motto: we in darkness, we shine. How's it?
I'll start it because I'm one of the specialists. I'm the scout, Silver Prowling Gale, aka SPG. Panther-like legs, Panyar. Our last mission saved everybody by being able to find an escape route.
Yeah, it's true.
Slinking through the darkness because the darkness is where he shines. You know, so get ready. More of that coming.
Very confident.
Was he a Star Viper when he?
No, he wasn't.
But he knows what to show him.
Other
Star Viper.
specialists?
Oh, that's me.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I'm Captain Devil Eye Shackleton, and I was on the same mission where we rescued the commander. I'm alright, and I like to smoke cigars, and I have an eye patch, and my nickname is Devil Eye because I have bad depth perception, but I'm a really good shot with the one eye, so that's like, it's a devil eye. Oh, it's killed so many things. They were all undead. I don't know. And so that's Devil Eye Shackleton.
And then if our rookies want to introduce themselves.
Okay. My name is Princess Plum. I am used to a very certain lifestyle, so I like to be pampered. And I also like to know about everybody's business, so I act like I really care, but I just want to know what's going on. So that's me. I'm alright, and I am very connected. Like I said, I like to know what's going on in town. But I have a dark side. I'm very vengeful. So if you cross me, look out.
I love our research and development team. This is the Star Viper. It's like, they brought us along, but we're not sure. Duke Dumont. I am a tall, blonde-eyed noble. I am the second son in my family. I have recently discovered word that my brother has passed away. This is good news to me. I now have inherited his vineyard. I saw that we have memento of home. So my memento of home is actually a bottle of wine that is unopened from the Dumont vineyard. Bring it with me on the mission. Perhaps we can use this. I have very much an interest in alchemical research and would one day hope to learn more about medicinal purposes and using different tinctures. So this is very much my focus right now, and part of the reason why I joined the Legion. Star Vipers, yeah. Very excited.
Hello.
Forgot her voice.
2 words.
My name is Danielle DeVito. And, I am a bartender. My special ability is to got to make it out alive. I have a handlebar mustache. I am tall, dark hair, brooding, but handsome. Mystery behind the eyes, as they say. I carry a small tree with me where I go. It is
A small tree?
Yes, I am a bartender. It is my
Carry
own.
the tree with you.
Those were Zemyati. Zemyati
Yeah,
owns the
Zemyati.
tree.
I am wrong.
I thought I had a tree.
You can still have
Maybe
a
you just like
tree.
plants.
So
It's your lucky charm.
Yes, I have a lucky charm.
Lucky bamboo.
Well, I do. I do have a reliquary.
Okay.
So I have a small reliquary that is a plant. And I wear it on my pinky finger.
I was scared.
Like a root
That's
ring?
what you're about to
Yes,
say.
like a root ring.
Right on.
And it is Danielle DeVito.
If you didn't get it. All right.
This is a
Alright, team,
very
let's go get
different
some
mission
time.
already.
Drive tag.
So, after a few days' travel, you come over the crest of rolling hills and you are met with the sprawling, lush vineyards of Vinhaven. Walking down the rows of great vines, you can see the cottage houses less than a mile away. The town is thriving, albeit the roaming horde close by. Many are at work here trimming the vines and turning up the soil to be ready for budding season. The nippy spring air blows along your hair and cheeks. As you pass through the main thoroughfare of the vineyards, you can see several workers trimming buds and looking at you fearfully in some manner. The Legion isn't always welcome in most towns due to their sort of gray morality methods. And people of the Western Front are already in a sort of ragged disposition. But as you pass through the main thoroughfare, you're avoided by some of the folks. You can actually see a couple, though, who don't seem as scared as the other patronage in the vineyard. Some of them are actually dutifully watching you and trailing you as you walk through the thick gnarled vines on sticks. As you get closer, some of the cottages have Orite-style steam machinery attached to them that seem to be siphoning water from the pond in the center of town. So there's a river that kind of cuts through the center of town, and it's most of the town is up on this like rising small hill basin. And it's a little bit more humid here than most of the other places on the Western Front, mostly because the sun plus the moisture is kind of collecting in the air here. But that is essentially Vinhaven. Welcome. So you can see there are people transporting grapes in carts. You can see a bunch of people using like large barrels and of water and pushing them into different like warehouse buildings. And most of the streets are paved, like cobblestone paved. This seems to be a very like upper middle class type construction or architecture here. There are a few buildings that have seen some wear and tear due to the fighting that's been happening the last couple weeks throughout the Western Front, but everything seems to be in a sort of pristine. It seems like the undead haven't quite affected the southern portions of the Western Front yet.
Is there an inn or?
Sure, there can certainly be an inn. Do you want to talk to anyone in town? So you're in a controlled position. You are kind of in control of the narrative right now. You are able to. We can say that you're already at. You found and are already at an inn.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're inside. There's probably about 8 or so loose tables not arranged in any particular framing, with about 4 to 5 chairs each. You can see a gentleman with long handlebar mustache and kind of like an oiled, slicked back hair. Auburn colored with a big like bulbous nose, thin framed, washing some cups, and you can see behind is like a huge selection of wine bottles. Probably for most of the Orites here, you know this region produces most of the western half of Aldermark's alcohol supply, like wine supply. And there have been good and bad years. Some of you may like turn your nose up at Vinhaven wine. Some of you may be like very rich collectors and remember 827's perfect vintage right before the Cinder King appeared. So,
is the guy behind the counter the guy with the
yeah. Just kind of like head down. Actually, as you enter in the building, he looks up at you and immediately sets out 7 wine glasses.
Oh, thank you very much, friend.
Are all 7 of you inside the building?
Yeah, I am.
I think before we enter, SPG is going to be like, listen, I think you guys should do the talking, the glad handing. I'm going to keep an eye out for people coming in and out of here. See if I can see who's a little worse for the wear. See if maybe I can pick out who might have been one of the people affected by our intel says that those bandits were, causing some trouble on some of these vineyards. Let me see if I can see some of these people.
Well, that's good thinking, Silver. If you see something, say something.
And so I think I want to post up like outside.
Sure.
Kind of like lurking in the shadows, a little bit like trying to see people when they don't think people are watching them, which once they get inside they will.
So maybe like a side alley or something as opposed to being right at the front door.
Yeah.
Okay. It is midday, but the alleys definitely have some sort of like shadow layer to them. Why don't you make a scout roll to see how particularly hidden you are? Or I guess it's not a difficult test, we'll just say it happens. Okay. Yeah, you're not like trying to surmount anything difficult. If you're trying to be very inconspicuous, you could make some sort of roll if you wanted to assert that in the narrative. But for now, we'll say the 6 of you. Then there's 6 glasses played, like wine glasses placed on the front counter, and he starts. He reaches underneath the bar, pulls out some sort of bottle that's already been opened, and pours like little tasting, like 1 ounce amounts inside of the glasses before you enter, like just as you break the front door.
This place is very nice.
It's so cute. It's kind of like shabby chic almost. I really like it.
Yes, shall we go try this wine, officer?
So Isaiah, well, at ease for a moment. Afternoon, friend.
Afternoon, pleasure to have you here.
Well, you'd have an informed opinion on this, certainly more informed than mine. Where would you say the best wines come from? I mean,
Vinhaven, of course.
huh. Well, I have an old friend of mine from Westlake insists that the best wine is from Westlake. Because he makes it himself, so maybe that's a little.
Not even looking at
Doesn't have to. It's perfect.
So maybe we can't say he's impartial in his judgment, but you'd say Vinhaven?
You're saying a friend of yours is here from Westlake?
From Westlake, winemaker from Westlake.
Do you know the name of this person?
Nope. Do I have like a badge or something from the
There's not really like a distinguished, like there are banners and things. I guess there is sort of a symbolism, but there's no like uniform for the Legion. You just kind of are, and there's like an air about you that people know that you're a part of the
Gotcha.
Legion. Yeah.
I pick up my wine glass and I go, I don't know his name. He's not my friend. He's my assignment, and he's missing. Do you have any information on people coming from Westlake?
I seem to recall something, but I don't know. A little coin could help jog my memory.
A little coin.
A little coin,
Could
yeah.
help jog your memory.
Oh, Captain.
Hmm.
Pardon myself. Do you seem to have, you say fine wines here, I was wondering if you wanted something of a speciality, something to have for, tasting for yourself, and let it speak for itself. I brought something from back in the East.
I haven't had Eastern wine in a long time, since the war started.
Oh my god, it's so good. Just wait.
You're gonna break the shit out of me. But what if I don't like it?
I'll leave that up to your tastes. I'm sure that based on what you have, you are someone who knows a fine wine when they taste it.
He takes a glass from under. Why don't you make some sort of roll? Sway, consort.
I would love to sway him
Sure.
with my delicious wine.
Alright. Oh! What'd you get?
1, 1, and 2.
No.
Oh, I didn't remind me to do position and effect. So effective standard, position was risky, like risky standard either way. But I think with that, I'm sorry, friend. In case we make it out of this alive, I'd like to have a little bit of a nest egg for when all turns up. I hope the best from the Legion and the Eldermark forces.
Oh no, I understand. Believe me, and I'd like to make a sway roll.
Okay.
Can I say what I'll say before or after I make the roll?
Either way, I think the situation it's going to be a risky roll, and I think the effect will be limited because he's already on the front foot from the wine consequence. So that's where you rest with another sway, because you're not exactly communicating with him in terms of relationship standards. You're strangers, and you're trying to get something from a stranger, and you're also Legionnaires. So
Gotcha. I'm gonna 4.
4, okay.
And what I do is I go, well, I understand, you needing to put a little something by for a rainy day. It's just that the truth is, well, we don't have all the coin in the world. We spent it on, just give me a moment. And I put some ammo on the counter, and then I put my musket on the counter.
Shackleton?
Yeah.
2 sway? No, that's Kennedy.
Well, they both got 2 strikes.
Oh, okay.
And I put my musket on the counter, and then I'm gonna put some musket balls on the counter, and then I'm gonna put my sword on the counter, and then I make it look like I'm gonna stop, and then I go, oh, and I had to spend a little bit of money getting this fixed, and I just take my eye patch off.
Ooh.
That's really shrapnel and fucked up. And then we had to bury Indigo. You know, we don't really like to just deposit people in the earth. You know, we'd like to let his family know, and the horses for that and that type of thing. But if you need money, and I just put all my shit, take it all back, put my eye patch back down.
Wow.
Between you and me, I do appreciate the work of the Legion. I have a couple of friends in the Legion as well. I don't remember what squad they're a part of, but.
Oh.
Ember probably. You just hear them in the distance.
Oh!
All those boys.
I can't tell you who, but I can tell you who you can look for. You want to find Hammer's group.
Hammer?
Hammer.
Man named Hammer?
A person named Hammer.
Person named Hammer.
Oh my God.
I've never really seen who they are, but that's the best I can give you. Unfortunately, I don't know the particular name of the person either. I do know that someone arrived from Westlake about a week ago.
Fair enough.
Are you supposed to know, like, who makes the wine that you're serving?
He's traveling from the east side of the continent. He doesn't make wine here.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Did he stay here? Did he stay?
He just stopped in briefly. And I don't really like to mess or cross with Hammer's group. They're kind of thuggish and are ex-soldiers, so.
Did they used to work for the Legion?
No, they were part of the Aldemarni forces.
At this point, I'm going to say, may I have leave for a few moments?
Leave?
To go and, case.
As you will.
And I step aside from the conversation and I take what he didn't want, since I already opened it to see if he would want some, he didn't. I pour myself a tall glass. As I'm walking about the place, I'm looking to see if there's anyone around inside who might be part of Hammer's group, and I would like to make a research roll.
Sure. There's about a sparse 3 or 4 people in here, mostly doing some interior maintenance to carpentry work to the building. Go ahead and make a research roll to kind of.
And would it be controlled because I'm not doing anything?
Yeah, controlled. I don't think risky because I don't think many people here like the Legion to begin with, so it'd be hard to get them to talk. But after Captain Shackleton's kind of display, I would still call it risky just because they're now on edge, because he's sent the message of if force has to be used, I will use it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. I got 1 dice and some research. Can I trade? Never mind.
You can if you want.
I was gonna say, I don't want to make it desperate. I only have 1 dice. All right. 6.
Yeah.
So you kind of walk around the space, and you casually, maybe you pour a small 2-ounce pour. You swipe a glass that's left up on the mantle or something, and give it to a worker, and you have a casual conversation. What you gather from all of them collectively is, and at some point you see that Duke Dumont. At some point he's sitting down and chatting with all 4 workers, and they've stopped doing what they were doing, and they're reminiscing of it. Yeah, exactly. And it's very interesting for Legion. It's a very dropped guard situation. What is your scout, if you have scout?
My scout? 1.
1. Okay. What I did was a fortune roll. You can use any sort of asset or trait, and that helps you kind of describe non-yes or no or proactive decisions in the narrative. does someone notice something? Or how will Zora fare in fending off the enemy or something to that effect? So you carry on this conversation, and you know that Hammer's group are ex-Aldermani soldiers. They bear a heavy grudge against the Legion because they kind of blame them for marked fields and all that. Like anything that, you know, it's a very like, this country is doomed and it's all their fault sort of situation. And the person you're looking for is Brantz Helker. He is Barton, and he's from Westlake.
Brantz?
Brantz, B-R-A-N-C-E, Helker, H-E-L-K-E-R. You, outside. So you're sitting in the shadows, you're kind of watching around, and why don't you make a scout roll, if that's okay with you.
Perfectly okay
Sure.
with rolling that.
Sure.
I don't know. 6.
Woo! So, definitely controlled. You're in a controlled situation, effective snare. What you're kind of looking out for is something out of the ordinary. And as you're looking at about town, there is... You didn't see it first coming in. There's no sense of like authority, or there's no like police or law or guard or something like that. But then you like see people in casual clothing, and they're just kind of like standing about and not working like everyone else, and but they're not in any like official uniform. They're in like very casual clothing, very like browns and greens, and almost like lower status type stuff. And they look a bit rougher than most of the people that kind of tend to the fields. Like everyone else that's like tending has very like plump tan skin, looks very like nourished in terms of like food. These folk kind of look a little bit scraggly, if not a little sunken. Some of them have like scars on their hands or faces.
Do they look like they're kind of watching everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. I think SPG's gonna just stay chill and like wait for the group, but definitely once he gets to the group, he's gonna... I think he'll walk in. He'll walk in and pull the officer to the side. Say, sir, I noticed something. Can we speak for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Have any of you tried the wine that he set out on the counter?
Right before
I
I
did.
leave,
Okay.
with Silver Pie, I take a sip and I go, "This is good. Let us know what we owe you."
And I just pull you to the side where the bartender such can't hear us, and I'm like, sir, I noticed some watchful eyes out there. It looks like some outsiders from the town might be kind of in control. They're overwatching the people of this town, keeping an eye on them. I have a feeling this town might be occupied right now.
Well, can't do anything just yet. It's not enough cause, just the fact that they look like they're out of town. But we got to keep an eye on everyone who looks like they don't fit. And we need to watch what they're watching.
And when we step outside, I'll point them out to you who I'm talking about specifically.
Amongst your casual conversation of group, what they end up finishing telling you is that one of them can set up a meeting with Hammer if you're interested.
I tell him everything. Yes, I would be very interested in meeting because I know that there's a little bad blood. I'm a little newer to the Legion. I want to quell
Well,
any of
you've
those.
been kind to us, sharing your wine and everything like that.
New leadership, new whole lease on life they really had. So I think we could really find a way to be kind to one another.
as you're kind of like exiting with the officer, Captain Shackleton, the guy who's specifically talking to him also has that same sort of like scraggly, rugged air or feel, and he just looks a little bit different than everyone else in town. Did you try the wine, Princess Plum?
Yeah.
Okay, so the wine taste you did not try.
I
their
really
wine,
didn't. I smelled it,
and
I filled my cup with my own wine.
So their wine was very. It's got this kind of like earthy, almost like. It's got very like it's got a deep like plum. Has a little bit of like a mushroom, like kind of forest floor secondary taste. It's a little bit acidic, very very bold. It dries out the mouth pretty quickly. What does your wine taste like?
Mine's really sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely for people who enjoy forgetting that they're drinking wine.
Any particular like flavor notes?
I think there is like I don't know. For some reason, it tastes like vanilla.
Okay. Great.
It's got this hint of vanilla in it.
Red, white wine, rosé.
Rosé.
It's a rosé. Love. So you have a couple more casual like jokes, ha-has,
and I like I top off everyone's glass and finish off the bottle with the group that I'm sitting with.
Sure, absolutely. So for this meeting to take place, he just needs you to meet over by the warehouse south of town, and he'll try to get Hammer to meet with you there.
Only him.
No, all of you.
Oh,
All of
okay.
you be there, yeah.
After we finish the wine, I come out. If everyone's done, I like come out and I'm waiting to see what they were doing. I don't tell them right away because I'm waiting to hear like orders from Captain.
Sure.
Tell him.
All I do is I pay the guy that gave us 7 glasses.
He accepts humbly.
And then I pick out the furthest corner from the counter and have us all sit down at the table there.
The other 2 rookies sit down at the table along with you.
Captain, meeting with some of the wonderful fellows around here, and I wave over to where maybe they were still sitting.
They weren't all men.
Oh, okay. Who was
It was like 50-50.
But like the one person who's
Yeah, was a man.
was.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, we may have a meeting tonight with Hammer, south of town, abandoned warehouse or something. You know, the usual fare.
Abandoned warehouse?
Ooh.
Who set this up?
Is he still in here?
Yeah.
Oh, it was my friend.
Did not tell you.
Did not give me a name.
I look over at Silver and I go, what does that guy look like?
I don't know if you all noticed, but doesn't he look a little bit different than some of the locals here?
He's got a little bit of scarring. He doesn't take good care of his skin.
I don't think that's a coincidence. I think he may be part of that group.
Are you talking about Hammer's group?
Yeah, I think.
It's probably why he knows him.
Yeah, if he's willing to set up a meeting, I say we do it, but we might also be walking into a hostile situation. I think we should, plan ahead, be ready for anything.
And I'm ready to fight if we need to.
I mean, hopefully it doesn't come to that, but we always are, right? Right?
I mean,
Right?
But of course, definitely. I made it pretty clear that we wanted to, smooth things over and wanted to discuss. So I don't know if taking the 7 of us out is a bigger win for them than whatever we may be able to offer.
Well, what does Hammer's group want?
Yeah, what should we bring to the table here?
Or what can we say we can bring to the table is more important.
What is
There's
their
bread
current?
brought to the table.
You've got like really good wine, right?
I had. What
You
I
drank
think.
your last glass of wine. We just got started.
The minute we get back to camp, we're going to be marching on. We don't get to have these nice day trips all the time.
Whatever.
For the Legion.
What time's the meeting?
Tonight. Right? He said night.
Well, perhaps we can meet with some locals and see if they know anything else about Hammer's group, so we can, how you say, know more information about them before we walk into a trap. Or maybe we could even check out the location beforehand.
Get there early.
Yeah.
Does he know there are 7 of us?
I was very open, yes.
Well,
Of course, Davito.
because I was thinking perhaps we could be sneaky and have 2 people, stand by.
One? Would you be?
No.
I always forget you are there sometimes. I am like, whew.
Understandable. I mean, that is kind of what I do. Yeah, I have no problem sticking to the shadows, not being there during the meeting.
I could get a disguise.
I love this plan.
Yeah.
This is a good plan.
Go in there. Well, I don't really know what I do.
What additional thing does it give us for you to be in disguise?
Information.
Where are you
Right?
going in this disguise?
The warehouse.
But we have a meeting there. They're expecting us to be there.
Well, I mean,
She could hide her face.
right. I could just go and then, I don't know, talk to them.
Oh, the people who are at the warehouse now, not
Yeah.
tonight. Oh, okay.
Yeah, or, I mean, I like your idea. We could ask people in town for information. I'm really good at that. So, I could do that.
This is good.
So, so during the day, do we want to split up into smaller groups, perhaps?
If we think it's safe. You guys think it's safe?
For sure.
I think it would be safe to talk to everyone, talk to people in town. I will say, keep an eye out. We now know what Hammer's group tends to look like.
So we're sure that that's their group?
I have
We're not
only
sure.
We're not
I've only
100%
seen or met
sure.
one of them. Could you point some out could I join you and you could point some of them out?
Yeah. As soon as we walk out of here, walking through the streets, we'll see a handful more. I saw them keeping an eye on some of the locals.
I will say, let us be careful about picking people out based on their looks. Some people look more handsome like me, and some people not so handsome like you. Let us not be biased over
some
these
people would
opinions.
think that my feline looks are, a blessing. I guess some people would see.
But they would not say you are foxy, am I right?
So, children, what we have here is a situation that's unclear to begin with, and an invitation from forces we don't know. Our only option is to go to the meeting. Best bet is to find out as much as we can about the others, whoever they are, if they are occupying the town, or if they're just not from here. Those are our 2 best solid plans. We gather information, we go to the meeting.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, I have Plum, you're with Silver. Everybody else, you stick with me.
Alright. Yes, sir.
We'll chat up people outside the inn. And Plum and Silver, you take a stroll. You'll be back here in an hour. There are 2 other rookies. Oh, Cagney.
Aye, sir.
Cagney and
Dame Matthew Lillard.
Matthew Lillard. Cagney, you're with us. Lillard, you're with Silver.
Aye, sir. Aye, sir.
Right on.
And then I take my cigar out of my front coat pocket and I shout over to the guy at the counter. Do you mind if I smoke?
Be my guest.
Get my flint box out
Alright.
and release cool-looking way.
They're matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
it's
The first one did.
it is risk. Oh my god, yes.
It's crisp.
I spit on it because I'm very fire conscious. And so, Silver, your group goes first. And I'm just
Alright.
heading back.
Ready to go, princess?
Yeah.
It's your name. I mean, okay.
So
I know,
what?
but that sounded sarcastic, and I don't appreciate it. So.
No, I,
Yo, SPG is not melding.
He's like, yeah, man, this is not the same as rolling with the ghost owls.
I miss the ghost owls so much.
We're all
They just
very
snuck around,
heavy-handed.
didn't
Fuck
say a
off.
word.
Didn't say a word.
Sorry if anyone's off the Capify. Sorry
Yeah.
that exists.
No, we'll roll out. But I'll be honest with you. You're probably much better at talking to everyone. You know.
I mean, it is kind of my thing, so yeah. I'll talk to people. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really know where to go. I mean, like, we could go to some cute coffee shops or like.
Oh. See, like, I was thinking more like, what if we took a stroll through some of the vineyards and or by some of the vineyards and saw if maybe any of them looked a little worse for the wear, or maybe we see some more of these people around.
Okay, whatever. That sounds fine too. We can go to the vineyards. That's probably pretty cute too. So. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably find some nice postable.
Content.
Instagram.
Instagram in this world
Oh
is
my
just
God.
like a bulletin board that people
Post
Just
drawings
sad,
on
sad
See the picture I posted?
Everything's in black.
Did-
Let's go look at it.
Did you like it?
It's a big post next to the town crier, and you carve things on it.
So, what role would you like to use for this investigation?
Can I use my scout roll to kind of, as we walk through, scouting out to see what looks like? And I'm looking for maybe somebody, because these are bandits that we know have taken this winemaker, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking for someone that, you know, looks like maybe they would have had a scuffle at their place, or just anything that looks out of the ordinary.
Sure.
In that type of way.
Sure. This will be risky standard. I think is the appropriate. In fact, controlled standard. I don't think much can happen to you in this situation.
Oh!
Very cool.
Boom!
6.
So, as you kind of peruse the vineyards and you meander around them, you see a number of people, like heavy with shovels, going into the ground, up turning the soil. You can see people trimming off dead branches or really setting the vines up for the growing season. You can actually see a couple vines like have tiny little bud clusters and like bright green bud clusters. You notice that sort of at like each other or like every 3 like lanes of vines, there's kind of like someone staring down both ends and like pacing between the 3, and they're not shoveling, they're not clipping, they're just watching. And
As we
probably like maybe 20 lanes wide, so there's like 7-ish of those people that you can see, because it gets hard once you break into the aisles to see through all the vinage into the other aisle.
as we walk by that, I'm like,
Are there any orites?
I would say with that roll, you could probably pick out an orite or 2. Yeah,
Can I go up to one of them and speak with them?
sure.
Okay. They're working right now, right?
Watching. Or do you mean the workers or do you mean the sentinels?
I'd point out one of the workers, one of the people that look like they're being watched as they do.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Most of the people who are working in the fields are Aldemani.
Okay. So one of the. Okay. Isn't so for consorting? I would do that with connections from my heritage and background, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so can I talk to one of the guards then?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, there's like 2 alright looking guards. They're wearing like, one of them has like a masquerade mask, but it's off to the side, like resting on the side of the head at a slant. And the other one has some like fleck metal worked into like their vest.
Sweet.
So it's kind of like the telltale signs of Orite. They like to wear metal pieces in their clothing, and the masks are a dead giveaway.
Okay. So I go up to the one with the metal
Flex.
and I'm like, oh my god, I haven't seen one of those in forever. What? That reminds me of home so much. Like, hi. Oh, by the way, I'm Princess Plum. Nice to meet you.
So it's a very tall woman with like long blonde hair, probably in her early 30s about. She goes, I didn't ask your name.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just noticed that it was so cool that you have that. Like, I haven't seen that in forever. Sorry, we were on a tour here at the vineyard, and like our tour guide just like didn't show up, and like we just wanted to know more of what was going on in this place.
What load did you take?
I am normal, but I function as light.
What load did you take?
Light.
Okay. That doesn't mean you look light, it just means you function as light. What does it say specifically? Because normal means
I
you
just
look,
function in it.
yeah. So you
Fast
look
and
like a
quiet.
Legionnaire.
Yeah, I just got a bow with some black shot arrows on my back
Sure,
at all times, so.
Sure. And where are you princess from exactly?
I am Princess Plum. My family is the fruit family.
Oh, the fruit family.
Yeah.
I've heard of you.
Have you?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh my god. Well, that's not very nice. Well, anyway.
Is there anyone that could show us around? Maybe somebody that works here. We're only in town for a short time, and we just wanted to take a look around.
Cool. Look to your left. Now look to your right. You're done.
Okay. All right. Well, I think maybe we go to the next place down the road. Maybe they'll have something for us to taste, even.
Yeah.
Do you want to try a consort to see if you can overcome the hurdle of this person's stinginess?
Yeah, we do.
Sure. Now it's a difficult task.
I compliment her hair this time.
Okay.
Let's hope so.
So it's gonna be risky. I'm gonna call it limited effect, only because she's already kind of on the back foot with you.
Yeah, clearly. Your hair is so beautiful. I just had to tell you. I don't know how you get those strays so like combed down. 6.
Cool. What kind of information do you want to garner with your consort? Like, what's your objective with the consort?
I guess I want to know, like, I don't want to flat out say like who are the hammer people.
We could still be trying to get somebody to like give us a tour, show us around. Because my thought is if you're successfully able to get them to just allow someone to show us around,
Yeah.
they'd probably go to one of the workers that's worked there and lived there for a while, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. So taking us on a tour, like seeing if any of them are free to let us roam about and get some info.
Only because I get to work here. I'll take you to one of my favorite distilleries close by. The machine work is unprecedented and created by my family.
Who's your family?
Doesn't matter. I already know yours. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
So you end up walking towards probably like the northeastern side of town.
Mhm.
and it's got this large like double siphoning tank, and there's two long like steel pipes that go into or aluminum pipes that go into the pond and are siphoning out like the pool of water. And it seems to be like the third largest one that's pulling from there. There's like 5 big water siphons in that area in total. And she kind of like walks you around, and you can see 2 more of like those rough and tumble type characters standing basically obviously parallel guard at this warehouse. And you see big carts of grapes being like, or not grapes, but big carts actually being repaired and then brought out of the warehouse. Seems to be like where a storage facility for grapes after they're picked. Maybe there's some pressing equipment inside there, but she does not take you inside.
Okay.
Just a note that they're in the north of town.
Yeah,
And we're meeting in south of town.
Yeah, you came from the western front, which was traveling south along that side of the country, and you came in the north side of town.
And the meeting's in the south. Got it.
Yeah, so you'll be traveling deeper into town later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go inside?
Oh, you're not going inside. I just came to show you the machine. That's it. Tour satisfied.
Why can't we go
So-
inside?
Because I don't want you to go inside.
Oh. What? So like, what makes this place so awesome?
The wine.
I mean, that is what we came for.
Yeah.
Is the wine. I mean, like,
Well, yeah, but like, I'd like to try it. Like, I want to know how
is there any
awesome it
chance we
is.
could get a tasting? Even if you want to just like bring it out to us and.
You can go to any of the inns in town and get a tasting of the wines here.
Oh, this is what's stocking all of the inns in the town?
Eventually. Do you understand how growing season works?
No, I don't. I'm not from here. Honestly, wine's a little new to me. You know, where I'm from, it's a little bit hard.
He's not very cultured, so.
He and you.
Excuse me?
Easy. It's okay. It's
Okay, whatever.
So there are like some Orites that try to get culturally speaking, try to get one up over the other, like distinguish you
Yeah.
as the better like title or persona or whatever their job is. They might think their industry is better than your industry. There's like little slight things, but this is unnatural for it's usually kind of like a fun game between Orites.
Mhm.
This seems very like superiority complex
Okay.
type situation. She's being unusually rude.
Okay. Well, I think, you showed us enough, so we're good.
yeah. Let's hit up one of those inns.
Okay, sounds good to me. Bye!
I guess thanks for the tour. What was your name again?
Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right,
Didn't want to share their
no,
title
yeah.
because it's not princess. Yeah.
Right,
okay,
it's not right. Mm-hmm. Okay, bye!
So we head out. Do they follow us out?
But they are standing like near, like with the other two at the front. That main large double door seems to be the only entrance into that warehouse. There might be like a small side door or something, either at the back or the side, but they would definitely see like it. This is there's no the warehouses are not tight together, so like it's fully lit during the daytime and everything like that. They would see you go unless you were like, I don't know, triple six. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it had to be critical for it to like.
No, I was
necessary.
thinking about like kind of just posting up for a minute and seeing what they do. But no, I say we head back. And as we're like heading back, I'm like, now do you see what I mean about that? Like, it looks like they're occupying this town, right?
Actually, as one of the
Really?
carts like was coming out, it's like like one of the shovers seemed like unusually fatigued.
Mm.
And it's really early in the day, so like
And most people are being kind of watched and guarded, right? So they feel like they're powerless.
maybe.
None of them are just free, hanging out, doing their thing.
Mhm.
They're all being watched.
Yeah. everyone working at least. You can see that there are like families here, like there are children like playing near the pond and stuff, and they don't seem to be bothered by the rough and tumble group too much. There's people doing laundry. There's you can see there's like kiosks of winery. So it seems like really it's only the workers that are being pushed super hard. Although every like citizen seems a little bit fearful in some manner, but there's still a sense of like daily life that's being allowed to happen here. It's not like shut into the doors and like.
Yeah, but the production of the biggest moneymaker for the
Sure. Yeah.
yeah,
It's clearly being controlled.
yeah. We got a mob situation going on.
Yikes.
It's a money laundering.
All right, so yeah, I say we head back and let them know what we're really looking at here.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Yeah, you said it the whole time.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry.
I'm just learning.
Yeah, no.
I want to absorb knowledge.
And he like kind of like looks back, or I guess what would he do? Would he just like look back at the machinery? What's
Dean
Lillard's?
Lillard's?
Yeah.
He's always looking for food.
Heard.
Food,
That's mine.
Yeah, no, I think I described him as like aloof but clutch in high pressure situations.
Yeah,
aloof but clutch. Heard.
Yeah, so he's just kind of like, all right,
Yeah,
all right.
so-
And then when I point things out, I think when we're like pointing things out, he's like, oh, you're right. They did seem like those people were in charge. I had no idea until you pointed that out.
He like picks a leaf and like smells and is like, herb? Like
Amazing.
cool. So, what are the rest of you doing, officer?
We're inside, and there's 5 of us, right?
That's
Because
correct.
there's
Yes. 4 of you.
3 and 1 rookie.
Yeah. The other one's with them.
Gotcha.
So they're gone for maybe an hour and a half or so. The vineyard to buildings is kind of a long stretch of walk, maybe like 2 or 3 miles ish, and then from like building to building of warehouse, like another mile in between those, and like the town is a little bit separated from that as well. So it took a while to walk to the vineyard and through and back and all that.
And Tyler, does your rookie have any maneuver?
They have one maneuver.
One maneuver.
Yes. They are heavily focused. in
Lady,
this.
does Danny have any maneuver?
1 maneuver, 2 skirmish, 1 shoot.
I'm gonna send Danny to just basically take a look at where we're meeting in daylight
Awesome.
and just memorize the building. Come back and tell me what's behind it. What's
Yeah.
Okay.
inside.
We can do that in a couple of ways. You could do. I mean, what action do you think makes sense for researching a little? Or I said it out loud, but
Well, I was gonna say,
yeah.
like in terms of memorizing the layout.
Yeah, it'd be something like research or
I think
scout.
research.
Yeah.
I have 1 in research, so I would say research.
Okay.
I also want to be looking for if something goes poorly during this meeting, a way that we can get out, and someplace we can quickly hide
Sure.
to regroup
Absolutely.
if something goes wrong during the meeting.
Okay.
Do I know where I'm going? Because they said the
yeah,
warehouse.
yeah.
Is there more than one?
Definitely there's a specific location that was given during that conversation. You know exactly where you'll be meeting.
Okay, great. So before, I'm not gonna walk right up to it. You know, I'm gonna like look around beforehand, and I want to see if there's any like armed guards around this warehouse.
So why don't you make a that research roll for me?
Just roll 1, right?
Yeah. This is going to be risky because you're separating yourself from your group in potentially enemy territory. Effectively standing, you'll be able to get a nice layout of like the immediate like mile or 2 mile radius of that area.
That's bad. That's a 1.
Okay. So, you go around, and you look out, and you find that this southern portion of town, there's a lot of like hill forest. I always like where the hills come down and meet. There's like a forest growth in there,
Okay.
and it'd be easy to like duck in there and maybe like hide in that area. However, as you kind of push around that warehouse, you are cornered by 3 people and kind of like pushed to an alley.
Hey, what is going on?
What are you doing here? You're out of town, looking a little black or so. Legionnaire, I assume?
Maybe, perhaps. Are you looking to join?
I wouldn't say that. Just a score to settle.
Okay. My name is Daniel DeVito. How can I be of assistance to you today?
Well, why don't you go rest up against that wall over there and practice falling down for a couple of times? And one of them just socks you in the face.
Oh no!
And then they basically beat you up, so you're gonna take a level 1.
I skirmish! No.
Oh.
What?
Do you want to fight them?
I do have 2 skirmish.
Yeah.
3v1.
But we haven't had our meeting yet, and if you kill someone before our meeting, okay, it's up to you.
They're picking the fight though, if that matters to anyone.
They're picking a fight. Can I
Let him
like
have this one?
do like dodge, run away?
You can well, this is the consequence of your
Yeah.
of your research roll. So you can resist a level 1 harm, a beating. You can reduce that to nothing if you want by spending some stress.
Nah, I'll take it.
You just take level 1 harm?
Yeah, Danny's gonna be a heavy,
Okay.
so gets
So
used to it.
right, level 1 harm beating, and they beat you up for like a good 15-20 minutes. You're a little like black and blue in places.
Would her armor affect the...
Not my mustache!
If she wants to use her armor on this now, she can, and you can reduce that harm as well that way. Everyone usually gets an armor.
I'm gonna hold off.
Okay.
I also have a god to make it out alive, so I'm okay.
So they end up beating you up, and one of them kind of like spits on you, and then they like leave, and you're kind of like cradled up in there for maybe.
Thank you for your service is a fine response to meeting one of us.
But you lay there for a little bit.
Great.
So he's probably gone for like a worrisome maybe like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And you arrive back in that meantime, and Danny's not there.
Daniel.
I think he's calling you Danny, so I'm like, is that what's sticking?
D squared.
Yeah, D squared.
Danielle.
So they're back at the table.
Yeah. All 3 of them are back.
We sent Danny to go scope out the meeting place, and now we're 1 short. Hasn't come back.
Oh no.
What time of day is it?
Now it's pushing like 3-ish o'clock.
Would I have gotten a good look at these guys who were beating me up? If they were
Yeah.
beating me up for 15 minutes,
not-
what do they look like?
One with an eye swollen. Just like,
One of them looked like a swollen eye. That was weird.
yeah, one of them has a swollen eye. It's a big swollen eye. 2 of them were, they looked Barton.
Barton, guys. Consort.
Consort, help me.
Can I flashback in consort?
You can certainly try. I think that would be worth 1 stress if you did that.
Yeah, because I got 2 in consort and I'm a Barton.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, if you want to flashback and try to negate that harm.
Hey, buddies!
No, don't beat me up.
Don't beat me up! I too remember the Barton homeland of Bartania. Nope.
Oh no!
2 2s.
Yeah, they still beat you up.
That's okay. Well, those worth a shot. So 2 of them look Barton.
And you still take the 1 stress as well.
Oh, bollocks. Okay.
I don't remember what exactly was happening just now.
They would come back.
We
We were
came
talking,
back.
we were talking about,
Yeah.
we don't know where Danielle is.
Back here.
Daniel.
Damn it.
That is what I'm saying. I'm saying Danielle.
Do you want me to run out and see?
Nope.
Okay.
Do we keep
Just wait.
waiting or?
We wait here till the meeting. We go to the meeting with. Hang on. So there's the 5 of us and then the 2 rookies. So it'd be 7 total. Go to the meeting with 7, or we go to the meeting with 6, but we don't leave here anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to buy any drinks while you're here?
Anybody feel like drinking?
Yes, always.
He'll take 1 drink.
Okay, 1 drink coming up.
Thank you.
Pours like a light white wine. It's very like, it's very acidic, very sharp, limey.
Can I do like a thing where I like?
Yes, if that's how you taste wine,
Well,
absolutely.
no, he wants to do it because he wants to. He's smiling, but he's like, "Is there anything in this drink?"
How do you like a acidic, oily, mouthfeel, lime tasting wine? Dry.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Dame Matthew Lillard's like, do you have like some grub or anything that I could like gnash on?
I have some rabbit, some roasted rabbit in the back.
If we can make that into a sandwich, I'm down.
I can make that happen.
Alright, that's what I'm talking about.
Brings out your roasted rabbit sandwich. Has like a some sort of like mayonnaise, like loose mayonnaise that sits on the bottom of the bread and has like this like tarragon sprinkle on top.
Cool. You see him like deconstruct everything and then stack it all back up and it's a
Yeah.
lopsided tower now.
Yeah.
Gets into it.
While this is happening, and I'm sipping, I'm Officer Shackleton.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a strange request. Can I see under your eye patch?
No.
Okay.
And the other 2 rookies like.
So, like, we didn't really find anything. I mean, we learned more so that, like, this town is kind of occupied. Like, there are people watching the workers. And we're worried. It's
Like the foreman,
huh?
like on a winery when you have the person who
Yeah.
watches your workers.
Yeah, but,
like a foreman,
They're like a foreman, but they're like fucking bitches.
Well, we want them to be
So-
friends.
And as soon as you say that, Daniel is stumbling in.
Like,
Oh,
Dang.
I grab his drink
Heard.
and then I drink it.
Um,
And then I drink it.
is there anything a medical kit could do to help him with his harm? Because I brought medical.
Well, all I have is a good beating, so I can
Uh,
heal a good beating.
Well, let's look at that.
Oh wait, yeah.
Tiger
Yeah,
Bomb.
yeah.
I can answer my own question. I can answer my
Tiger
own
Bomb.
question.
Tiger Bomb.
After a long day and a good beating.
Sometimes.
Sometimes Captain Shackleton sends me places I don't want to go. Tiger Bomb.
Tiger Bomb.
Antiseptic, slings, sutures, poultices, and gauze spent for special armor against disease and wound complications.
Well, I would say yes in this manner. You can apply like a salve or a tonic or
Yeah,
something
sure.
like
I'll
that. Yeah,
mark one use.
I'll say it works.
Yeah,
for you.
Is this okay? If I start pulling out, do you need?
That would be great.
All right. And as I'm doing it, you also notice on my like when I go to put it on, I have like a glove, and the way that Orites like have metal inside the glove, there's like metal on the fingers, and they come to like almost like claws, like almost like they look like fingernails, and that's kind of what I'm using to like help us like just tie everything together. My fingers are going like this.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm all about it.
It's also my family weapon. Yeah.
So, I did not find any information other than they do not like the Legion. They saw my clothing, they did not like it, I guess, and then they give me a good beating.
Well,
That
that-
sucks.
It did suck.
Well, Daniel, you're sticking with us until the meeting.
These 3 men. Men?
Man, 2 men and a woman.
Sorry, 2 men, 1 woman. To look Barton. I tried to say I am Barton too. It did not work.
Perhaps this is already a gift we have given them. They got to beat up a Legionnaire. Good day for them.
They said they had a score to settle with the Legion.
1 point hammer.
Well, the hammer I don't think was there. But what the score is, I do not know. Maybe we have more points at this moment.
I have a feeling these negotiations aren't going to be quite even. I don't think we're on even ground in these negotiations.
There is a valley full of trees. Below?
Off to like the western side.
Off to like the western side of this warehouse we will meet.
Are you saying it's like a good escape route?
I'm saying if things go south, maybe we put a trap there. Big bomb! Do we have a bomb?
I don't know about
Though everyone.
if I could get, I may not have to go into the negotiations with you.
They know that there are 7 of you.
I do not have to go, they've already seen me, they know they have beaten me up. We could say that I am healing off to the other place and I am in the
You
forest.
could also say we sent someone back in case they killed us all. Be like, yeah, we know you might kill us.
We could befriend someone like on the street and buy them a lot of drinks and then bring them.
I'm also saying you don't like you know they know they're 7. It doesn't mean that you have to play by their rules.
We can switch our outfits, is that what you're saying?
No. No, I mean they're expecting 7, so like he could go off and search around and we could bring 7.
I also think the Duke makes a fair point too.
Oh, like sending someone back.
If they know that this negotiation going wrong leads to the Legion itself swarming down on this place,
Bless me.
that might give them,
A reason to not kill us right away?
yeah.
I don't understand. Is the army of the dead not going to come and kill all these people anyway?
Oh no, definitely. That is why I have no qualms about anything that happens in this town.
Trouble is, a lot of people have problems with how we are going about saving the world, and they feel like they have the right to cop an attitude about it. So that explains what happened to you.
Yeah, but like what are they doing about it?
Well, they're beating up Danny.
And occupying a previously free town.
Maybe they believe they are providing protection for the people. Maybe the people have hired this hammerman to protect them from the army.
Maybe they were forced to hire them, though. It didn't seem like the people that were working were doing so happily.
How does the people feel about the Legion?
We didn't really get to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how anyone here thinks about the Legion any longer than we have to be here. These people will be dead in weeks. We get what we need from this place.
So do we go to the forest and set up traps then? Just in case?
How does anyone here have training for that?
Also, do you have bombs?
Oh,
I have no
I-
bombs, but
I meant like a trap. That was in character. Being like,
oh.
bomb!
Bomb.
I have oil.
I also have oil.
I'm not really gonna help. So.
if you guys have oil, I've got a flare gun. And
Good light.
Need
Something on
be.
fire? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
Burn a forest down.
You could also
Yeah.
flash back for the perfect plan
Yeah, that's
if you
true.
want to.
yeah, I mean, I'm
But the setup will be hard because you got jumped by 3 people, which means you didn't see them coming, and there are maybe more in that area. So setting up a trap specifically in that escape route
Yeah.
could either let them know because someone's watching you. The chances are risky, to say the least. You don't know who's watching.
I don't know if we need someone to set up a trap. I don't think we all need to go in, though. I do think the ability to have at least someone in a safe place, no matter what happens, to be able to tell our story, no matter what that story is.
So who doesn't want to go to the meeting?
I would like to go. I would like to see them again and show them my own fists.
I feel conflicted. I mean, you guys know I can get us out in a pinch. I'm great at getting us out if things do go bad. But at the same time, I'm probably the best to be outside, ready to aid if need be.
Silver Prowling-Gale's not going. Who's going to be with Silver Prowling-Gale?
I would very much enjoy
We could be with Silver Prowling Gale.
Alright. Cagney and Lillard, you're with Silver Prowling-Gale.
I sir.
Right on.
Shackleton, just a question, sir. Do you really think bringing him along when they seem to not like him, will improve, or are we using him as a chip to be like, yes, you got one of us, we accept the payment of blood that you took on our man, hopefully we can negotiate? What is the pro or con of having
Danny, over the course of this meeting, I'm going to ask you to identify your attackers.
I can do this.
I don't think anyone's in a position to doubt whether or not this happened.
I am just saying that if things go south and we cannot reach Silver Prowling Gale, I know how to throw fists myself.
Alright, everyone knows where they're going?
Me.
Everyone's happy to be there?
Right by your side, sir.
Alright,
Yes.
the only thing left is to wait.
So as you sit in the table against the window, watching as the sun slowly sets beyond the hills, that is where we are going to take a break for right now.
Sick.
So see you in just a few moments.
And I'm basically just